You know the feeling. The tab is open. The document is right there. You need to start. You want to start. And then nothing. It's not that you're tired. It's not that you don't care. It's this wall, this invisible, maddening, totally irrational wall that sits right between you and the thing you know you need to do. And the worst part, the more you try to push through it, the thicker it gets. So instead, you watch one more video. You scroll. You reorganize your desk. You make a second cup of coffee you don't need. And then the guilt hits. And that guilt, that makes the wall even worse. Here's the thing nobody tells you. This isn't a you problem. This is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. And once you understand why, everything changes.
Let's talk about a mismatch. On one side, you have the world you actually live in, a world of deadlines that are weeks away, projects that matter but won't pay off for months, emails from people you'll never meet in person, long-term goals that live somewhere in a foggy, abstract future. On the other side, you have the brain doing all the processing. A brain that was forged not by office culture, but by roughly 300,000 years of survival. That brain, it was never asked to care about quarterly reports. It was asked to do 3 things, and do them now. Avoid danger, find food, reproduce. Not next Tuesday, not after the meeting, right now. The mismatch isn't a moral failure. It isn't laziness. It isn't weakness. It's a software problem. You are running a 300,000-year-old operating system on a 21st century problem set. And something, inevitably, crashes.
To understand why the crash happens, you need to meet the 2 characters running the show inside your skull. Character 1, the limbic system. This is your ancient brain, your survival engine. It's fast, it's emotional, it doesn't speak in logic, it speaks in feeling. Fear, pleasure, disgust, desire. It processes a situation in milliseconds and screams one of 2 commands, approach or avoid. See a threat? Avoid. Feel pleasure nearby? Approach. That's the whole algorithm. Simple, ruthless, extremely effective for the savannah. Character 2, the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of you that makes you distinctly human. Planning, reasoning, delaying gratification, weighing long-term consequences against short-term impulses. The part that says, yes, eating the entire pizza feels good now, but maybe don't. Brilliant, measured, logical. Also, slower, significantly slower. And here's where procrastination is born. You sit down to write the report. The prefrontal cortex gets to work. Then the limbic system looks at the task, and it sees a threat. Not a lion, not a fire, but a threat nonetheless. Anxiety about failing, boredom from the effort, fear of judgment, uncertainty about where to start. And the limbic system doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait for a memo from the prefrontal cortex. It just acts. It pulls you toward relief. The phone, the snack, the video, the scroll. And here's the cruel twist. It works. The relief is real. Temporary, but real. And every time you escape the discomfort this way, your brain files it away as, this strategy works. Do it again. That's the loop. Not a character flaw, a feedback loop.
Now, here's a question worth asking. Why did evolution keep this system? Why didn't natural selection just delete it? The answer is uncomfortable, but fascinating. The short-term thinkers survived. Think about it. A caveman who stops to think, I should plan my food strategy for the next decade, while a predator is watching from the tall grass, doesn't last long enough to pass on his genes. But the one who acted immediately on available rewards, food right there, safety right there, mate right there, they reproduced. Their DNA survived. Their tendencies got passed down. For hundreds of thousands of years, impulsivity wasn't a weakness. It was a competitive advantage. The problem is, the game changed. The rules changed. But the brain got left behind. In the ancient world, effort and reward lived close together. You hunt, you eat. Today, In the modern world, that arrow is a little different. Your limbic system cannot see that reward. It can't smell it, taste it, or feel it. It only responds to what's immediate. And this is where the 21st century becomes a trap. Technology has become masterful at speaking directly to your limbic system. Every notification, every like, every autoplay, every infinite scroll, all designed by some of the smartest people in the world to deliver just enough reward, just frequently enough to keep your ancient brain coming back for more. Your procrastination isn't a personal failing. You are playing a game where your opponent has 300,000 years of your psychology mapped out and $1 billion budget to exploit it. The fight was rigged before you sat down.
Okay, so everything we've talked about leads to one insight that, once you really get it, changes how you see procrastination forever. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotional regulation problem. We've been trying to fix the wrong thing. When researchers at the University of Freiburg studied procrastination, they found something startling. People don't procrastinate to avoid the task. They procrastinate to avoid the feeling the task triggers. Fear of failure, imposter syndrome, perfectionism, uncertainty, boredom, resentment. The task is just the address. The emotions are the reason you won't go there. So here's the reframe. I am not avoiding work. I am protecting myself from a feeling I don't know how to handle yet. And a labeled wall is a wall you can actually work with. Because once you stop trying to force your way through the feeling and start trying to process the feeling, the wall starts to open.
You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not just bad at this. You are a human being running ancient survival software in a world that was built in the blink of an evolutionary eye. The brain that makes you procrastinate is the same brain that kept your ancestors alive through ice ages and famines and every catastrophe the earth threw at them. It's not your enemy. It's just confused. So here is the one thing, just one, that the science actually supports. Before you try to start a task, name the feeling stopping you. Not a timer, not a productivity app, just name it. Because research in effective science shows that labeling an emotion, what psychologists call affect labeling, reduces the intensity of that emotion almost immediately. You're not tricking your brain, you're talking to it. And in that tiny moment of communication, the wall gets a little thinner. Not because they forced themselves, not because they found motivation, but because they finally understood what the wall was made of. You aren't lazy. You're just fighting 300,000 years of biology. And now, for the first time, you know how.